And so, gentle viewers, we thought we'd start off this new university term by doing one of our least requested fanfics. I think our mailbag has been bulging with literally 0 requests for this or any other reading.
Yeah, in fact, I haven't actually been spoken to by anyone apart from you in the last 4 years, so...
Does get awful lonely, just you, me, and the fanfics.
And Warcraft.
HP Warcraft. Why do you have a squid? Why do we have a squid, God?
Because I bloody well said so.
And apparently, God is a less feminine Brian Blessed.
Oh. We're also drinking vodka and squash.
Because we literally ran out of everything else.
So, Ollie, if you'd like to begin. This is a Labyrinth fanfiction. For those of you who haven't seen Labyrinth, I suggest you watch it right away. Traff will be naked, and you'll see what we mean. For everyone else, Ollie?
Yes, Dave. Yes, Labyrinth starring David Bowie's crutch, guest starring David Bowie.
And a baby.
That was the 80s were a weird thing. Oh God, why did you give us the 80s?
Well, you know, something.
Luckily, David Bowie himself will be dropping in at some point to interject on this movie, so let's move on this fanfic. So, Ollie.
Jareths sat in his throne. Is that in his throne?
It could be a crib. Maybe it's more of a bed.
Alright, that's less than a sentence in and a grammar mistake.
Not necessarily a mistake, it's ambiguous, Ollie. Ambiguous.
Alright. Yeah, but commas also.
Okay, fine.
One leg lazily hanging over one arm.
Let's all try that now, shall we? Tentacle sound. It's actually quite easy for him.
Yeah. He's a squid. The goblins running right around him, just like... Actually, wait, that's running right around him just like every other day, even though there's 2 different sentences. It had been...
There is a full stop there.
Oh, yeah.
Running right around him, just like that should throw be a semicolon.
It had been 3 long years since he'd seen his daughter, Jessamine. She'd be 14 in a few weeks from now. Wait, so he just abandoned his daughter at 11 years old?
Well, it's David Bowie.
True. I think Bowies age like dogs. Is that 14 years or 14 Bowie years?
What? So, very good point. I mean, where has David Bowie actually been these last 9 years? Bowie, care to interject on this?
I think you'll find I've actually released an album quite recently.
Right, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Right. Every year, when time had fallen upon her birthday, Jareths would lock himself in his chambers for weeks, and once he'd reappear... Did he brightly?
No, he was peering, and then later he would repeer. Like, there would be more peering.
So...
He'd peer again.
So what, he's grading papers?
But he's doing it himself twice. This makes a mockery of the academic review system.
His chamber would look and smell like a stable, or worse.
Seems reasonable.
Like a bedroom. Anyone who got close in Goch to the king to really learn who he was, knew the only thing that could throw him off track would be his Sarah he had lost 9 years ago, and his beloved daughter. Sarah the girl from Labyrinth?
Yes.
Okay.
The teenage girl we had that child with. You remember when that happened.
Oh yes.
And then the Muppets showed up. That was the thing.
Interesting trivia fact brought interjects that Sarah Connolly was actually only 14 when Labyrinth was filmed, making it even creepier.
The character was 16.
Still technically illegal under most legal jurisdictions, although I don't know what the Goblin Kingdom's law on that kind of...
David Bowie's king, so it's pretty much, you have a hole, my penis can go into it.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Jessamine was beautiful. She looked not like her mother or father, who were both blonde. She had red fire-like hair that sat in curls under her shoulders. She had these uncommon bright green eyes. Not just any uncommon bright green eyes.
Well, not those uncommon bright green eyes. It's these uncommon bright green eyes.
And pale porcelain, like skin.
All right. See that you have some pale porcelain.
Yeah. Well, she just carries it around with her. Maybe this is nostalgic porcelain for her.
She was very clever and very resourceful,
But apparently not good with vocabulary. That's buried twice there.
and as powerful as her father, with magic flowing at her fingertips. Shouldn't that be from? Because otherwise it's just...
It flows next to her fingertips. She's dipping her fingers in the magic, like someone might dip their fingers in water after eating mussels.
Also, like her father, she enjoyed kicking goblins, hating their unflattering company.
Man, I enjoy kicking goblins.
And
I hate the way their company doesn't make me fat. I surround myself with goblins, assuming I will become fat from their company. And I don't, so I kick them. And I enjoy it.
she'd always had a bright sprite and a wildfire in her since the day of her birth. So apparently she's a Jewish with a lisp.
Isn't that a bris?
Yeah, with a lisp.
Oh, I see, right, okay. So technically, she wasn't when she was born, it was when she was about 14 days old. So she had a wildfire in her since the day of her birth. By the way, wildfire is actually the new name for David Bowie's penis.
And like that's kind of that's probably child endangerment. I mean, Sprite's got so many chemicals in it. Yeah.
Especially if it's bright. I mean, is this like glowing Sprite?
New Coca-Cola?
Ah, new Coca-Cola.
No, New Coca-Cola is in New Coca-Cola Quantum.
Ah, right, of course.
Because Fallout is how everything exists.
Her mother...
Her mother would hid away at the sound of her father's booming bad moods, but Jessamine would simply tell him to can it before the whole underground caved in.
That would make so many people late.
I know, right?
Damn. School is really looking out for us here. I'm on her side already. But no, wait. She's an outlaw.
She's a outlaw.
I'm so conflicted. On the one hand, she is protecting commuters. On the other hand, she is outside of the law.
Populous on a scale of 1 to 9, let's say how boring was it?
I don't know. Can we, 7.5 mega Nixons?
Okay, so where were we? Underground caved in. She'd rather ride horses than
No, she'd rather ride horse, actually.
Oh yeah,
She'd rather ride horse than sit around with some old grouchy governess.
No, she'd rather ride horse than sit around with some old grouchy governess who wanted to teach her sewing and how to play piano.
No, Pano. She's learning how to play Pano.
Which seemed to come...
It's a dice game with knives.
Which seemed to come so naturally to her, as did most things that came to music, all the many creatures and beasts of the labyrinth.
David Bowie's crotch.
Which she had already tried playing through Thor. Every time she wished a nanny or governess away, her father would tell her it was too dangerous and do everything in his power, which was allot, to stop her from attempting it.
Apparently, which was allot is in square brackets, suggesting it's some kind of annotation by a later author. Like, is the person who originally wrote this fanfic, they didn't, actually show quite how powerful David Bowie was, and so some later wily editor has, in order to raise the stakes, mentioned this power was allot.
And, if there are any Redditors of the 3 people who watch this, an allot of power.
But even though she loved her father, she hated that he wasted a human by turning it into one of the things she hated most. Goblins. What a waste she threw it.
It was already hard enough, giggity, to rise a girl on his own. I shouldn't even need to put in the giggity. It was already hard enough to rise a girl on his own, but she was constantly running off into the labyrinth with stable boys.
What's better than running with unstable boys?
True. Or dancing.
The kind you probably find in a David Bowie movie.
Or dancing with the fire gang in their forest. You couldn't stop her, she was as powerful as he was.
David Bowie, there's something I've always wondered. Were you or were you not intimate with Lucy last night?
You tell me now.
I don't know, I think they edited that scene out of it.
Extended XXX.
I always knew that film was secretly a porno.
Okay, so actually, let's check time.
As you got older, no, get to the end of this chapter.
Well, check time. Yes. Check time. So
Oh, fine.
we'll be right back after these messages. Okay,
Boobs!
where's the
Stop, there's a
Yes.
stop button.
after these messages?